And we're going to start the stream off with reviewing the Agir. Quick note, the Agir was provided to me for free by Wargaming. It has been put in. So a big thanks to Wargaming for providing that that ship to me. That allows me to give you guys a review of her characteristics, so you can make a decision whether or not you want to purchase her for whatever resources Wargaming will put her out for. I do know, but of course that is under NDA, so I will not share. However, I'm going to walk you through how I would probably build up the ship. And we go from there. Now this is a super cruiser, so fires burn for longer than normal, and the chances of you losing your engines are relatively low compared to a regular cruiser. So I'm going to go for fire and flood protection. The guns are everything, so better aim is nice to have. Let's do my maneuverability check. So it's a cruiser and its rudder shift time is 14 seconds. I want better rudder shift time. Remember, for me, for cruisers, I want to keep it to as close to 10 seconds as possible. So there we go. And concealment is a pretty, obvious one. Hey, Worrell, how you doing? Legis, I'm glad you're doing fine. Uh-oh. I have my first guest for the day. Turn the lap cam on for you. There he goes. Well, that's weird. Come back to me, lap cam. There you go. Hello, Glacial. Alright, so, I mean, nothing too special with her setup here, right? And you can see the camouflage that she comes with. It's the standard 100% bonus, 20% credit reduction for battles. Litwanus, hello? But of course, I want better than that. So, I'm going to go ahead and slap a camo on it. You know what? I'll put a frosty fir tree on it, because that looks just ugly, so that'd be fun. I got a 19-point captain I can throw on this guy here. Interesting. Can I actually put a test captain on her? That's funny. Huh. I'm gonna put the Hindenburg captain on. It shares a lot of similarities to Hindenburg, long range spamming. Now, the one thing that's different is I probably wouldn't. If I had a dedicated 19-point captain, I probably wouldn't put a demo on the ship. I would probably instead do something else, simply because I typically find myself shooting AP quite a bit in the Agir. That being said, Vigilance might be a good option instead, or you can go for, what could you go for instead? You could do one of these skills and a tier 1 skill, or whatever you want to do. You could drop maybe preventative maintenance, drop demolition, and go fire prevention. That's probably what I would do if I would do that. Pops Place is now a community contributor, huh? Nice. Congratulations, Pops. But anyway, I'm gonna put him on here because that's fun. Let's go into our flag layouts. It's a super cruiser, but I still want to reduce my fire duration, so all the fixins, and it's a tier 9, so credit boosting is kind of fun. I've got plenty of these flags, so I might as well use them. And where am I at for flags? Boink. Okay. Oh, cool. Eisenhower's is here. Hello, Eisenhower's. And, Puddin', are you ready to go, sir?
Yeah.
Alright, give me a second. Say something again. I want to make sure your audio comes through properly now.
I had a really long night last night.
Yeah, you were telling me about it, and yeah. It's crazy. Okay, I see you got your Missouri. I've got the Agir ready. Hello from Poland. Hello there. Let's go. Let's go. This is Luzino Trainer from Poland. Hello, hello. Worrell, you had a funny random game on a Massachusetts today. You died 6 minutes in, got 4 kills, double strike. You only hit 22 shells. Worrell, that's pretty impressive. It's very impressive.
Only 6 minutes.
Hi, Jared. And Jared, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm sorry, what was that, Puddin'?
Only 6 minutes?
So, we got kind of lucky, Puddin'. We're top tier. They even have a fail div. They have a Pensacola. No. We do too. Great.
It's alright, I got a radar module on this thing.
Song request busted today? Give me a second. Let me refresh the service. Okay, try now, Edge. So after this battle is out, we'll talk a little bit about the characteristics of the ship and what you can do with it. But basically, you think of her as kind of like a tier 9 Scharnhorst in that the guns are 305s. They're okay. They do surprisingly well against other cruisers and obviously not so well against battleships. She's got torpedoes. These are your typical 6-kilometer torpedoes. She does have German hydro, which also reaches out to 6 kilometer. Because she's a super cruiser, she's got a heel. She's got secondaries, but the thing about the secondaries is they don't reach that far. 5.6 kilometer secondary range by default. Of course, you can buff that up a little bit to get it to close to 8 kilometers if you go full secondary. But at tier 9, tier 10, tier 8, if you can't go 11 kilometer, then why bother? Pretty good speed, 35 knots. Maneuverability is okay. And her armor is decent-ish. She will get smacked around by 406s and stuff like that, so you have to play her kind of cautiously. I should have been farther back here. I just got detected by most likely their Kagero. So I'm going to have to back off.
I lost detection. So he's on your side, I believe, or it got behind the island.
Yep. And I guess there's a Massachusetts over there. Would be nice if we could get a little spotting from our Kagero, but it's kind of taking its time.
It's my radar.
Alright, thank you, thank you. Ah, Stevie decided to get up. There's the New Orleans. He sees me shooting, turning into it, but I still managed to do pretty decent damage to him. Kagero's in the middle of the map. Hey, Captain Johnny Rotten, how you doing? Yep, we're doing an Ochakov later on today.
Radar's down.
Yeah, not much we can do to that guy, unfortunately. And 1 penetration. Oh, look, it's an Oland. Do we have an AFK Bismarck? We have an AFK Bismarck. Great.
Attention. Reporting a target position.
You're doing well? Good, 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 good. And the Kagero removes all spotting. Thank you, Kagero. I have no idea why he smoked up there. Edge, sure, I can comment on what happened with the Odin. Let's wait until after this game is over, however. Alright? Thunder90, thank you very much for the follow. I'll try to keep this focused on just the review for the ship itself. Oh, look at this. Look at this salvo. Overpens. Oh, the Bismarck is here. Is the Leander AFK too? Okay, so not only is it a bottom tier game, but our bottom tier player has decided to, you know, nope out of the game. Alright, cool. And New Orleans really slowed down. He's tanking for me. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Wing Commander. I was gonna say, I recognize the music. I haven't heard this in a long, long time. Thanks for the memories, Edge. Synop just took a torp. And we're not looking too good here. Wow. Good accuracy there, Mr. German Gunners. So this ship is more of a, like, you kind of have to stand off for a bit, and you've just got to simply work the enemy down over time. Got a nice citadel in the New Orleans there. That worked out really well. Unfortunately, the Synop is looking at the AFK instead of me. Unfortunately, as you can see, my guns do nothing against the hardness that is Russian armor. So I have to aim a little bit higher for the upper belt. And a 9K salvo. That's much better. Much better. Alright, so there's the Massachusetts pushing up. Oh, New Orleans. One thing I wish this ship would have is a way to elevate your angle with like a scout plane so you can see a little bit farther out in the distance. And I'm gonna have to move a little bit farther up because that Massachusetts is really pushing. And of course he's probably secondary build, so should be seeing secondaries coming my way shortly. New Orleans moving full speed. 2 overpens. Good times. Looks like he might be slowing down just a little bit. Those have to be the Massachusetts secondaries shooting after me. Oh boy, it took out a gun. Look at that. He is coming to a halt. Oh, our AFK Leander is here. He survived all the way up to now. Nice. Yes, they are about to win. Puddin', how you doing over there?
All stations.
I'll be okay, I guess.
Alright.
I don't know about the team.
Yeah, I see some low health ships.
Enemy cruiser detected.
Nice kill on that Pensa. And of course, 1 overpen and 2 ricochets. So let's switch to HE and I'll show you a little bit about her HE performance. Missed me. Massachusetts took a torpedo, most likely DCP'd that flood. And look at that fire chance, huh? Edgecase says, this is usually where a dead teammate yells at me for being too far away from the death. Yes. Oh well, we lost. But I think it does a nice job of showcasing some of the strengths and weaknesses of the ship. Let's take a look at the detailed post-battle stats. Well, she's definitely unexciting when checked up against a hard-pushing battleship, that is for sure. I mean, you saw how much damage I took in that first salvo from an undiscovered Massachusetts. I came in 5th place on the team, putting congrats on number 1. I did okay damage. Detail report, you can see here. I mean, I'm averaging a little bit over 1,000 damage a shell. It's kind of boring. Did start a couple fires, nifty, and you can take a look at the damage that I received. So, you know, 'tis what it is. And credits and XP. I mean, this is just the usual stuff that you're gonna get. Hey, Fear, how you doing? So let's go into a little bit of information about her characteristics, and let's talk about why she performed the way she did. First of all, let's talk about armor. She's got 27mm armor on the bow and upper deck in the front, which is okay. She doesn't have an icebreaker bow though, which means that things that can overmatch 27mm will basically just blast right through. Let's get rid of that for a second, and let's talk a little bit about her other armor characteristics. She's got a 190mm belt armor on the top, a 90mm upper armor belt. But you can see her citadel is protected by a turtle back, and so behind that is an additional 60mm of citadel protection. Not a ton. So if we drop that, you can see shells can go in through the front, they can go from the sides. You have to be very good at angling with her, and that's one of the reasons why I took the rudder shift capabilities, because I wanted to be able to angle to make it more difficult for me to take you know, some of the really big shots. What else can I tell you? 30mm upper deck here. You can see the, I mean, decent armor for the turrets, nothing too special. And in the rear, again, nothing too special. 27mm, you know. But that helps to explain why I took that really big hit from the Massachusetts early. The shells came in from the side, probably about like this, and again went right through that 190mm armor belt, and then punched through the 60mm roof of the turtle back afterwards. Survivability wise, she's got more health than a bunch of other even battleships of her tier, so that's kind of funny. Decent torpedo protection. The guns, like I said, they're 305mm guns. With Demolition Expert, I have a 29% chance of fires if I wanted to sling HE all the time. And I'll penetrate 76mm armor. It's not too bad. Shell velocity is okay. 865. It's crazy to think that these days that seems a little low. But it's fine. It gets comfortable after a while. And she does decent damage with those shells. Her secondaries are nice. That they're 128mm secondaries. They'll pen 32mm of armor. The only problem with them is their range. 5.6 by default, like I said. You can get up to about 8ish, but at tier 9, I mean, even if you're top tier against tier 7s, it's probably not worth it. I had mentioned her torpedoes. There's her torpedo stats. 6 kilometers. There's your damage. All that good stuff. I mean, they're just kind of your German torps. Anti-air isn't anything to write home about. It's decent. It's not the greatest. And there's her maneuverability, and let's pop in her concealment. Guys, if you have any questions about the ship, please feel free to ask. I see that Glacial is already asking, how does Agir compare to Alaska if both of them are super cruisers? That's a really good question. And let's talk about that briefly. So I'm going to drop this for a second. And I'm going to go into my filter. Let's do Tier 9 cruiser, American, and German. The main difference that the Alaska has compared to it, they're both 305 guns. Of course, the shell arcs are different. You notice the shell velocity is much lower in the Alaska, so you're, a little bit longer shell travel time to get to target. But in my opinion, the real big difference in this ship has to do with their armor scheme. Alaska doesn't have a turtle back like the Agir does, but Alaska's got a much thicker armor belt, and more importantly, let's see, 27 as well, yep. And more importantly, if we were to drop the armor and take a look at the Citadel, you notice that the Alaska Citadel is underwater. Alaska is incredibly difficult to Citadel. Agir is not. So I would say that's one of the big differences. Now, up close and personal, an Agir is pretty difficult to Citadel because of that turtle back. But at range, Alaska's got a pretty good... I think it's got a leg up over the Agir, in my opinion. Puddin', what do you think of the Agir?
Is the ship released?
Yes, we have her on our accounts, CCs.
I'm gonna stick with the NDA because I can't remember what I can and can't say.
Fair enough. Puddin' is a tester, and as such, he obviously tests the ship, and we have these NDAs to protect us and protect the company from putting out beliefs and stuff like that, so that's fine. Does anybody have any other questions about the Agir that you would like to ask? Is there a reason to pick up the Agir over the Siegfried? That's a tough question. The Siegfried's got a lot of good things going for it. Let's take a look at the Siegfried for a moment. The armor scheme is pretty much identical, but the difference has to do with the consumables. I had mentioned in my game how I wish I would have had spotting aircraft, and that is applied to the Siegfried, but not the Agir. Siegfried still has that German hydro, and it's got the secondaries that, by default, have that 7.6 kilometer range, which means you can go with full secondary mean build and go all the way out to 11.3 or 6 or whatever kilometer secondaries. The big difference between the two of them is in their guns. The Siegfried is kind of like the Nysa now compared to the Scharnhorst, where the Siegfried's got the 380 millimeter guns. It's only got 2 barrels instead. Still got the torpedoes. So is there a reason to pick one over the other? I would say yes if you like your super cruisers, if you like German ships. And these two, I would say, have a pretty different play style. The way that they're kind of spec'd up and set up. Between the two of them, do I like one better? Yes, I prefer the Siegfried. In my process of testing the Agir, I really hated it for a very long time. And as you guys know, when you grind up ships, a lot of time it takes quite some time before you're able to get to that point where you feel comfortable in a ship. And I feel like Agir is the same kind of way. Like when you first get her, if you first get her, it's going to take quite a bit of getting to learn the ship and getting to know it, especially the guns and being able to aim and do really good damage with them and stuff like that. Once you figure her out, though, I had some really nice games in her. So I hope that answers your question, Edge. And if anybody else has a question about the Agir, please, by all means, ask away.